the cooking demonstration, and that showcases a special recipe every month. And as April is National Volunteer Month, this is a wonderful event for us to start to acknowledge all the wonderful volunteers that really shine a light on AARP's amazing mission, and that's to help 50 plus communities across the nation. And so we are really, really excited to be hosting this conversation, this special conversation today with Chef Christine. And I am excited to hear about the recipe that you're going to be cooking for us today. It's really exciting. Chef
Hey
Christine,
Val, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am so excited to meet you. This is just a highlight of the month for me. I just think AARP has the most incredible volunteers, and I love that you're the new volunteer coordinator.
I am. I just joined the organization maybe 6 months ago,
Oh,
and I think my story is a testament to what people can do as volunteers because I ended up actually talking myself into a job which has been so fulfilling, and I am just so honored to be part of this terrific organization.
it's a great organization. It really
Oh,
is. You know
yeah.
I'm a big fan.
I know you are. I know
Well,
you are.
I want to talk to you. Now, I understand you don't cook a lot. Is that true?
Well, I'm a single person, so I don't know that I have much incentive to do some fancy smancy stuff that you're going to be showing us today. But I'm excited, so yeah. Yeah.
So that is actually part of my mission as a newish empty nester. I am all about making folks realize that number one, they deserve to eat great just because they're cooking for one person or two people. And two, you don't have to put a ton of time or effort. Because I'm with you. I do not want to spend an hour making a meal that it's going to take me 15 minutes to sit down and eat. So I wanted to show you a little dippity do. And people love a recipe that I call it a dump and stir, where you dump a
Mm.
bunch of things in a bowl and give them a stir. This is
Hmm.
a dump and grind because
Oh.
we're going to use the food processor or a blender for this. It's
Hmm.
super easy to put together. It's something called Muhammara. Have you ever heard of this?
No, I haven't. I saw your recipe just before coming on air, and I was going to leave the pronunciation of the name to you, but I saw the ingredients, which look
So
fantastic.
this
By the
is
way, I love dippity doo, so
oh
yay.
right, right. So this is just you. I have all this stuff hanging around. So my husband loves to entertain, loves, and I think it's because somebody else does most of the work. But he had a fire pit, and he had some leftover sourdough bread. And this
Mm,
is the good chewy kind. You know, it's got that nice crust, but I mean,
mm,
this is several days old. Perfect for what we're going to do. So
mm,
I took the liberty of putting some in the food processor already because in the muhammara, which is a Middle Eastern dish,
mhm.
we are going to use fresh breadcrumbs. Now, it doesn't matter if you have like just a regular sandwich loaf in
Mhm.
the cupboard, you can pull that out and use it. We just don't want to use the dry, the dry breadcrumbs
Yeah,
that we get in the canister. We don't want
yeah.
to use that. We want to use something fresh because it has a little more moisture to it, and it just gives it body. Kind of like
Mm,
when you make a crab cake
mhm.
and you put as little filler in as you can.
Right.
That's we want this to be something good, not just like a dry, nasty breadcrumb. So I know. I am very relaxed in a lot of my cooking, but I get super snobby about the weirdest things. Now, check it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
We are going to use some roasted red peppers.
Mm.
I
I
love them.
love red peppers.
I
Mhm.
do too. Look at this. Ooh, this is a good jar. Look at that.
Yikes.
Woo! We're
Mhm.
going all in. Oh, and I love it because it still has a little of the char on it. I love that. I love it. All right, and we are gonna post the recipe for this then. But this is like a small jar, about 7 ounces of the red peppers, the roasted red peppers.
Okay.
Then if you're doing it by hand, and we're not, You can paste your garlic. Do you know what pasting garlic is?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
it's actually super cool. The more you smush down your garlic, the more garlicky it gets. And I've talked about this before. Have you ever heard of chicken with 40 cloves of garlic?
I have not.
You have not?
It sounds delicious.
Oh, it is. But one of the things you do in chicken with 40 cloves of garlic is
Hmm.
you don't mash the garlic. They're
Okay.
whole cloves. So because they're in the whole form, they give a much more mellow flavor to the whole shebang. All
Mm.
right. For this, I'm just going to chuck the whole clove in and we'll let the food processor do the work.
Okay.
All
Hmm.
right. Now, walnuts are used in a lot of Middle Eastern, Turkish cooking. We used to have this wonderful Turkish restaurant here in the town I live in, and that's where I was first exposed to this dish. But whenever you use nuts, um, I always like to make sure that I toast them because you just get a lot more flavor out of a
Hmm.
toasted walnut instead of just a plain walnut.
Right.
All right, let's see. We need a little salt. You can always add more, but you can't take it away.
Hmm.
We want to add a little bit of lemon juice. Measure with your heart, right? There's that
Hmm.
sweetness you get from the pepper. Oh, it's so good. And then we're going to add in just a pinch because that whole add more, can't take it away thing of crushed red pepper. And then about a teaspoon of cumin. And I have to tell you, if you are on a budget or if you are just looking to save a little money, you
Hmm.
can go to the international section of your grocery store
Yeah.
and take a look. Now, I know spices are produced, a lot of spices are produced here in Maryland, but if you go to the international section, you will find much lower prices on the spices that we use.
Great tip. Let me
Yeah,
write that down.
yeah, because it pains me. It pains me to
Hmm.
go and see a jar of cumin that's this big
Right.
for $6 or a bag of cumin for $3.
Yep.
Right? I love that. Now, this is
Mhm.
where I'm getting fancy, Val. Let's see if I can get it. All
This
right.
is the fancy schmancy part.
This is a fancy schmancy.
Okay.
This is called pomegranate molasses.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
And you could make your own. It's not hard. I know Val is like, I'm not making my own. This is pomegranate juice that's cooked down. It's just cooked down a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
And did you know that grenadine is pomegranate, not cherry?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I love that fact.
So, where
All
do
right,
you find pomegranate juice if you're not making it yourself?
you can get pomegranate juice. Again, I implore everyone to go check out the international section of your
Okay.
grocery store. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, it is the most fun that you will have. My big thing is when I visit somewhere new, I always like to go to the grocery store.
Mhm.
I know, I'm weird.
That's not weird. That's actually
I have
that's
done
actually great.
I once did a bus tour that included a stop at a big grocery store so we could check it out. I kid you not. All right, so we've got everything in there pretty much. And now we're gonna, let's see if we can get everything to work together. Now, I'm gonna turn this on.
Okay.
And I already browned the bread a little bit. And look at that, already. Oh, gorgeous. A little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
How good
it.
is that? Now, you can go all in with this and you can put more olive oil in.
Hmm.
And when you do that, it's going to get smoother,
Hmm.
not quite like a hummus. You know how a hummus
Right.
is
Hmm.
gorgeously smooth?
Hmm.
This has a bit more texture to it. And that's how I like it. But also, I want to give it a taste. Make sure it's right. Mmm. Ooh.
Well, it looks yum yum.
Yeah,
It definitely
I'm telling
does.
you, one of the things I'm
Mhm.
trying to do is make it so we can do these demos with one of you guys in the kitchen.
Oh, well, I volunteer to be your first
All right,
subject.
now check this out. I want you to see
Okay.
this too. Just about any food processor, you'll go and the blade will fall into whatever you're doing. If you just take your finger and put it up
Mm.
through that hole in the center,
Hmm.
it will hold the blade so that you can scrape it out without worrying that the whole thing's going to fall in. Yeah,
Wonderful.
I know there are all sorts of little tips and tricks. This will
Hmm.
hold for about 3 days in your fridge.
Hmm.
So this is an easy make ahead. You could do a whole platter. Like I am all about connecting in the kitchen, right?
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think it's so much fun to include a friend. And one of the things that I love to include friends in are the classes that I do with AARP. And I have one coming this
Yes, you do.
Saturday at
Hmm.
11 a.m. We're doing kind of a brunchy menu. We're going to make a granola, lovely, but
Lovely.
we're going to do lemon roasted asparagus. So we're going to talk about roasting vegetables with poached eggs. We're going to talk about poaching eggs, crispy prosciutto, because even though maybe we're trying to eat a little healthier, you can incorporate things as long as you can amp up their flavor. And then
Mhm.
maybe if we're feeling naughty, a little bit of hollandaise. Whoop,
Whoop.
whoop, and that's it.
Will you
So,
have any of your muhada? I'm sorry,
Muhammara,
muhara.
Muhammara,
Okay. Will
we
that
just
also
keep
be
it.
part? Hmm.
I have a guest visiting from out of town, so I'm hoping we demolish this tonight. But think about this,
Yeah.
you could make one dish like this, maybe grab some tzatziki and some hummus just already made at the grocery store and put them out and have a little snack platter. Invite a friend over.
That is wonderful.
That's it.
Thank you.
You are so welcome, Val. I'm so excited that we're working together.
I am too. I am too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that demonstration. And I really implore folks to also register for your class this Saturday. It's open to everyone across the nation, whoever can register. So, and I know that you have a pretty good sized crowd already that's really looking forward to the delicious menu that you have in store for this Saturday. I'll be in the audience, I tell you that.
I love to hear it. Yeah, it's a good time when we do. I do a little roll call at the beginning of every class.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
most fun. We have people. Last month we had people join us from Alaska and Hawaii. They got up way
Wow.
too early.
Wow. Wow. Well, I am so pleased that we had the chance to really share this wonderful recipe today. I will see if I can actually try to replicate what you just did and experiment with my friends. And so thank you so much. And again, this is one of a series of events that AARP Maryland, as well as AARP nationally, is hosting in celebration of National Volunteer Month. We really want to take the opportunity to acknowledge and just share our thanks with volunteers across the nation and also here in Maryland about the wonderful things that they are doing across so many different, um, categories of assistance for 50 plus and other communities, not just 50 plus. So we really appreciate everyone's time today. Thank you, Chef Christine.
Thanks, Val.
Appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you again